Welcome to our deep dive into one of Japan's most perplexing and chilling unsolved crimes, the Setagaya Family Murders. On the night of December 30th, 2000, an unknown assailant broke into the home of the Miyazawa family in the quiet suburban district of Setagaya, Tokyo. What followed was a gruesome and unthinkable tragedy that left the entire family, Father Mikio, Mother Yasuko, and their two children, Nina and Rei, brutally murdered. Despite an intensive investigation and numerous clues left behind by the perpetrator, the case remains unsolved to this day, haunting both investigators and the local community. Over the next few chapters, we will explore the details of that fateful night, the evidence collected, and the theories that have emerged over the years. As we delve deeper into the Setagaya family murders, let's take a closer look at the crime scene itself. A suburban nightmare that shattered the peace of this quiet Tokyo neighborhood. The Miyazawa family lived in a two-story house, part of a small residential development that bordered a park. On that fateful night, the attacker broke in through a bathroom window on the second floor, leaving behind traces of sand and dirt. Inside, the scene was nothing short of horrifying. Mikio Miyazawa was found at the bottom of the stairs, having fought valiantly against the intruder. Yasuko and her daughter Nina were discovered in the family's bedroom, their lives brutally taken. Little Rei, only 6 years old, was found in his bed, having suffered the same tragic fate. Bloodstains, overturned furniture, and scattered belongings painted a gruesome picture of the violence that had erupted within these walls. But what makes this case even more chilling are the peculiar actions of the killer after committing the murders. The assailant stayed in the house for hours, rummaging through the family's belongings, eating ice cream from their fridge, and even using their computer to browse the internet. The killer left behind numerous clues, fingerprints, footprints, and even articles of clothing. But despite these leads, the identity of the perpetrator remains a mystery. As we move forward, we'll explore the evidence left behind and the painstaking efforts of the investigators to solve this case. Stay with us as we continue to unravel the enigma of the Setagaya family murders, a suburban nightmare that still haunts Japan. As we try to grasp the magnitude of this tragedy, it's essential to remember the victims, the Miyazawa family. Mikio Miyazawa, 44, was a dedicated father and husband, known for his hard work and love for his family. He worked for a marketing firm and was described by friends and colleagues as diligent and kind-hearted. Yasuko, his wife, was 41 and a devoted mother who had given up her teaching career to raise their children. She was well-liked in the community and often volunteered at the local school. Their daughter Nina was just 8 years old, a bright and cheerful girl who loved reading and playing with her friends. She had a promising future ahead of her, full of dreams and potential. Little Rei, only 6 years old, was an energetic and curious child, always eager to learn and explore the world around him. The Miyazawas were a close-knit family, their home filled with laughter, love, and the everyday joys of life. But on that tragic night, all of that was stolen away. They were not just victims of a heinous crime, they were beloved individuals whose lives were cruelly cut short. Their story is a stark reminder of the fragility of life and the darkness that can lurk even in the safest of places. As we continue to uncover the details of this case, let's honor their memory by seeking justice and understanding. The Miyazawa family deserves more than just to be remembered as victims. They deserve to be remembered for the love and light they brought into the world. As we navigate through the grim details of the Setagaya family murders, it's crucial to piece together the timeline of that fateful night. This timeline offers a chilling glimpse into the calculated and methodical actions of the perpetrator. December 30th, 2000, was like any other day for the Miyazawa family. They went about their daily routines, unaware of the horror that awaited them. As the day turned into evening, the family settled into their usual activities. Mikio was likely working on his computer. Yasuko might have been preparing for the New Year's festivities, and their children, Nina and Rei, were probably enjoying some playtime before bed. Around 11:30 p.m., neighbors reported hearing loud noises coming from the Miyazawa household. These sounds were described as a thud, followed by silence. This was the moment when the intruder struck, brutally attacking Mikio first, followed by Yasuko, Nina, and little Rei. The killer's actions didn't stop there. After committing the heinous crime, the perpetrator exhibited eerie behavior. He stayed in the house for several hours, rummaging through the family's belongings, eating ice cream from their fridge, and even using their computer to browse the internet. The audacity and calmness displayed by the killer are both baffling and terrifying. By the early hours of December 31st, the killer had left the scene, leaving behind a trail of clues, but no definitive answers. The Miyazawa family's bodies were discovered later that day by Yasuko's mother, who had come to check on them. This timeline of events not only highlights the brutality of the crime, but also raises numerous questions about the killer's motives and state of mind. How could someone commit such a monstrous act and then calmly linger in the house for hours? What drove them to target the Miyazawa family specifically? As we continue to explore this case, we'll delve into the investigation that followed, the evidence found, and the theories that have emerged over the years. As we delve deeper into the Setagaya Family Murders, it's time to examine the clues and evidence left behind by the perpetrator. Despite the brutality of the crime, the killer left a surprising amount of evidence at the scene, yet none of it has led to a definitive answer. Inside the Miyazawa home, investigators found several items that the killer had discarded, including a knife, a scarf, and a sweater. Forensic analysis revealed traces of the killer's blood, indicating that he had injured himself during the attack. This provided valuable DNA evidence, but despite extensive testing and comparisons, no match has ever been found in any database. The killer's behavior also left behind a digital trail. He used the family's computer to browse websites, including a theater company and a travel site. This has led some to speculate that he might have been a drifter or someone with an interest in the arts. However, no concrete links have been established. Other peculiar findings included the presence of sand in the house, which was traced back to the United States, specifically to a location near an American military base. This led to theories that the killer might have had some connection to the US military, but once again, no solid evidence has emerged. One of the most baffling aspects of this case is the killer's apparent nonchalance. He not only stayed in the house for hours after the murders, but also used the family's toilet without flushing, leaving behind more DNA evidence. His actions suggest a level of familiarity and comfort that is both disturbing and perplexing. As investigators combed through the evidence, they also found footprints and fingerprints, but these too failed to lead to any breakthroughs. The sheer volume of clues left behind has only deepened the mystery, leaving both investigators and the public baffled. What motivated the killer to target the Miyazawa family? Was it a random act of violence, or was there a deeper, more sinister motive? Despite the passage of time, the Setagaya family murders remain an open case, with new theories and speculations emerging regularly. As we continue to delve into the enigma of the Setagaya family murders, we turn our focus to the suspects and theories that have emerged over the years. Despite the wealth of evidence, the killer's identity remains elusive. Let's explore the possible profiles and motives that have been suggested by investigators and armchair detectives alike. One of the primary suspects in the early stages of the investigation was a disgruntled neighbor. The Miyazawa family had been involved in a dispute over noise with a nearby resident, leading some to believe that this conflict could have escalated into violence. However, this lead ultimately fizzled out due to a lack of concrete evidence. Another theory points to a professional hit. The precision and brutality of the murders, combined with the killer's ability to evade capture, have led some to speculate that this was the work of a trained assassin. This theory is bolstered by the killer's apparent familiarity with the area and the meticulous way he cleaned up after the crime. Yet, no links to organized crime or any known hitmen have been found. A more chilling possibility is that the killer was a transient or a drifter. The presence of sand traced back to a location near an American military base has fueled speculation that the murderer might have been a foreigner, possibly a former soldier, or someone with military connections. This theory is intriguing, but remains speculative without further evidence. Some investigators have also considered the possibility of a thrill kill, carried out by someone with a deep-seated psychological disturbance. The killer's behavior, staying in the house for hours, using the family's computer, and even eating their food, suggests a level of detachment and boldness that is unsettling. This profile fits that of a sociopath or psychopath, driven by an urge to commit a heinous act rather than a personal vendetta. There are also theories that the killer might have had an accomplice. The sheer number of clues left behind, footprints, fingerprints, and DNA, could imply that more than one person was involved, perhaps one who was more meticulous and another who was more careless. However, no evidence has surfaced to definitively support this theory. Despite these numerous theories, the Setagaya Family Murders remain unsolved. Each new piece of evidence seems to open up more questions than answers, leaving the investigators and the public grasping at straws. Could it be that the killer is hiding in plain sight, or is he a ghost who vanished into thin air? As the years go by, the hope for closure remains, driven by the relentless pursuit of justice for the Miyazawa family. Will we ever find out who committed this horrific crime, or will it remain one of Japan's most haunting, unsolved mysteries? As we delve deeper into the Setagaya Family Murders, it's crucial to examine the investigation itself, an endeavor fraught with challenges and failures that have left the case unsolved for over 2 decades. From the outset, the sheer brutality and complexity of the crime scene presented significant obstacles. Multiple agencies were involved, including the Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department and various forensic teams, yet coordination issues hampered their efforts. The crime scene was contaminated early on by first responders, neighbors, and even family members, leading to the loss of crucial evidence. Despite these setbacks, investigators managed to gather an astonishing amount of physical evidence. Over 12,000 pieces were collected, including fingerprints, footprints, and even traces of the killer's blood. However, the sheer volume of evidence also became a double-edged sword. Analyzing and cross-referencing such a vast array of data proved to be a monumental task, stretching the capabilities of forensic teams and leading to delays. One of the most perplexing aspects was the DNA evidence. The killer left behind his blood, yet no match has been found in any national or international databases. This raises questions about the killer's background. Could he be someone without a criminal record, or perhaps a foreigner not registered in Japanese systems? Another significant hurdle was the public's response. While over 246,000 tips were received, sifting through this avalanche of information has been overwhelming. Many leads turned out to be dead ends, and false sightings further complicated the investigation. The public's fascination with the case has been a double-edged sword, providing both valuable insights and overwhelming noise. Technological limitations at the time also played a role. In 2000, digital forensics were not as advanced as they are today. The killer's use of the family's computer left behind digital traces, but extracting and analyzing this data was far more challenging than it would be now. Despite these daunting challenges, the police have never given up. Annual memorials and renewed calls for information keep the case in the public eye, and advancements in forensic technology offer a glimmer of hope. But as the years pass, the question remains: can these challenges be overcome, or will the Setagaya family murders remain an unsolved enigma? The Setagaya family murders didn't just devastate the Miyazawa family, they sent shockwaves through the entire community and beyond. Setagaya, once seen as a peaceful suburban haven, was transformed overnight into a symbol of vulnerability and fear. Neighbors who once left their doors unlocked began taking extreme precautions. Security systems were installed, and the once friendly streets became shrouded in suspicion and anxiety. The psychological impact on the community was profound. Parents became hyper-vigilant, and children were no longer allowed to play outside unsupervised. Schools and local organizations held meetings to discuss safety measures, and the sense of collective trauma was palpable. The horror of the crime seeped into the daily lives of the residents, altering their routines and relationships. Nationally, the case gripped Japan, highlighting vulnerabilities in the country's law enforcement and forensic capabilities. The media coverage was relentless, with news outlets providing continuous updates and speculations. The public's fascination with the case led to widespread fear, and a reevaluation of personal safety across the nation. People question the effectiveness of their security measures and the reliability of their police forces. The case also sparked discussions about the state of mental health in Japan. Many wondered what could drive someone to commit such a heinous act, and whether societal pressures played a role. This led to a broader conversation about the support systems in place for those struggling with mental health issues, and how they could be improved to prevent future tragedies. The Setagaya family murders remain a haunting reminder of the fragility of safety and the ever-present possibility of inexplicable violence. As we continue to delve into this case, we must also consider its lasting impact on the community and the nation. The scars left by this tragedy are not just physical, but emotional and psychological, affecting countless lives. As we move towards the conclusion of our exploration, we must ask ourselves, what can be done to heal these wounds, and how can we prevent such a tragedy from ever happening again? Despite the extensive investigation and the overwhelming amount of evidence, the Setagaya family murders remain unsolved, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions and lingering mysteries. How could someone commit such a brutal act and then calmly stay in the house for hours, seemingly without fear of being caught? What drove them to target the Miyazawa family specifically? The crime scene offered a plethora of clues, yet none have led to a definitive suspect. The killer left behind personal items, including clothing and a hip bag. But DNA analysis and fingerprinting have brought investigators no closer to an arrest. The sheer audacity and bizarre nature of the crime suggest a calculated mind, yet the reckless abandon displayed in leaving evidence behind points to a conflicting psychological profile. Theories abound. Was it a random act of violence, a vendetta, or something more sinister involving organized crime, or even a foreign assailant? The lack of clear motive adds another layer of complexity to an already baffling case. Then there's the question of the killer's escape. How did they manage to vanish without a trace in a densely populated area with extensive surveillance? Did they have an accomplice, or were they simply that skilled at evading capture? These questions continue to haunt investigators and the public alike. The case has also shown a harsh light on the limitations of forensic science and law enforcement in Japan at the time. Despite advancements in technology and renewed efforts, the mystery remains as impenetrable as ever. As we ponder these lingering questions, we are left with a chilling realization: the answers may forever elude us. The Setagaya family murders are a stark reminder of the dark, unfathomable depths of human nature and the limits of our understanding. As the years have passed, the haunting memory of the Setagaya family murders continues to cast a long shadow over Japan. The brutal slaying of the Miyazawa family has left an indelible mark, not only on those who knew them, but on an entire nation. This case has become a symbol of the fragility of safety and the dark complexities of the human psyche. For the Miyazawa family, their story is a painful reminder of a life abruptly and violently cut short. Friends and relatives are left with an unfillable void, their grief compounded by the absence of justice. The community of Setagaya, once a symbol of suburban tranquility, now carries the weight of a chilling legacy. The case has also ignited a broader conversation about the effectiveness of law enforcement and forensic science in Japan. Despite the advancements in technology, the Setagaya family murders expose the vulnerabilities and limitations within the system. It serves as a sobering lesson that even with vast resources and public interest, some mysteries may remain unsolvable. Yet, the enduring impact of this case goes beyond the borders of Japan. It has captivated the attention of true crime enthusiasts and investigators worldwide, each hoping to uncover the elusive truth. The global community remains invested, sharing theories and speculations, driven by a collective desire for resolution. In the face of such darkness, the legacy of the Setagaya family murders is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. The memory of the Miyazawa family lives on, serving as a poignant reminder of the need for vigilance, empathy, and the relentless pursuit of justice. As we close this chapter, we honor the memory of the Miyazawa family and reaffirm our commitment to seeking the truth, no matter how elusive it may be. The Setagaya family murders remain an enduring enigma, a chilling reminder of the mysteries that lie just beneath the surface of our everyday lives. Stay tuned as we continue to explore the world's most perplexing and haunting cases, shining a light on the shadowy corners of human existence.